Welcome back to Flashbacks. I'm Tony from Comic Book Fans United. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about the Reverse Flash returns. This episode serves as an origin story of sorts for Eobard Thawne in that this is the first time he comes face to face with the Flash and the team that surrounds the Flash. What's interesting to note though is that now he's learning information about these characters that we didn't know he had access to in the first season. And maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but it's very likely that if he didn't, this is information that he's getting that's negligible at best. And this is something that's covered in Legends of Tomorrow, where you have characters that are time traveling, and they are altering the timeline, but these alterations are so small and insignificant that they don't harm the overall timeline of events. This series has been doing a very slow build-up of the character vibe, where we see him start off as a lab tech, and then we find out that he's a metahuman, then we get to see the glasses, and now it seems that the glasses have been enhanced and they're no longer tethered to a computer, so it's very likely that he can then become field active. And much like Black Canary or Speedy or Arsenal on Arrow, I could really easily see Vibe being a in-the-field superhero on The Flash, either by the end of this season or next season in full costume. Aside from a line from the Earth 2 Harrison Wells that felt like a nod to Daft Punk's Harder, Better, Faster, Stronger, this episode didn't really have too many weird or quirky, interesting Easter eggs, but it did have two things that I did want to cover before I leave. The first being that, much like in the comics, soon after Patty finds out that Barry Allen is the Flash, she leaves because she feels he lied to her and was keeping it a secret from her. And the series has actually done a really good job with that storyline. I don't think this is the last time we'll see Patty. Maybe the last time we'll see her this season, but even that I kind of doubt. But it puts her back on the back burner, so that way now they can start building towards that relationship with Iris. The other thing I noticed in this episode, which a lot of comic book readers thought was really cool, was that the Earth 1 counterpart of Jay Garrick turns out to be Hunter Zolomon. And in the comics, I've covered this before, but Hunter Zolomon is the character Zoom, or the second Reverse Flash. He was Wally West's Reverse Flash. And now this paints the idea of the Zoom from the TV series of being, you know, he could be really a lot of different characters. At first we went into it thinking it was going to be an evil Barry Allen, or it was going to be the Earth 2 version of Henry Allen, and now it could be 5 or 6 different characters, which is really, really interesting. I'm actually really looking forward to how they build off from this, because I don't think they would just throw in Hunter Zolomon and be like, yep, that's all he's going to be used for. And that wraps it up for this episode of Flashbacks. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We'd really like to hear your feedback. I'm actually going to record another episode of Flashbacks immediately after this one because I fell a couple weeks behind on these and I just wanted to make sure I was caught up before they actually got to Earth 2. So I will wrap this one up. I'll see you guys in the next episode, which should be up not long after this one is. Bye.